If you're a facilities manager at a university, you know students rely on the cafeteria for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the occasional late-night snack. So when a dishwasher breaks down and dirty plates pile up, the mess hall can turn messy in the blink of an eye. Enter Grainger. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast delivery, the product you need now is never far away. So you can turn that dishwasher back into a lean, clean washing machine. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The following podcast is brought to you exclusively by the Rad Rob Radio Network.
This is PBA champion Kyle Troop.
Hey y'all, Jacob Wettrup here.
Jeff Riggles here from 11thframe.com.
Hey guys, Chuck Ritchie here, formerly of Bolt TV.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Schaefer of track staff at Valley Bowling Center in Waverly, New York.
And you're listening to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr.
Yo, the boys from Straight Up 5, Rad Rob, Dr Ocho, and of course JP Jr.
Pick it out. Fear the fro, baby.
Welcome to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. A hard-hitting, in-depth, cutting-edge look into the world of bowling. This podcast will not only cover all things bowling, but will also give you a raw look into real-life issues. You'll get unfettered access into the mind of one of the most gifted bowlers of this or any other generation.
Strike, and they claim it. Somebody does it!
So without further ado, let's introduce you to the hosts of the show. Rad Rob, Rob Francois. Rad Rob, Rob Francois. Dr. Ocho. Dr. Ocho. And the incomparable Johnny Petraglia Jr. Johnny Petraglia Jr.
Hey guys, welcome back to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. I'm your host, Rad Rob, Rob Francois. This is episode number 108. We have a very, very special guest and a special surprise from what Johnny told me. I'm not sure what that is yet, but we'll find out here in a second. But before we get to our special guest tonight, let me bring in my first co-host. He is the man with the golden mask. He is the man with the giant peaks. He is the resident doctor of Straight Up 5. He is the house hack, Dr. Ocho. What's going on, Ouch?
Rob, when did you get a shirt made up for you?
Oh, you like that? Yeah, I just had it specially made for the show.
Oh, never mind. Oh, shit. Stupid me. I wasn't paying attention because I was just doing this, and the blood flow just was going to the biceps rather than the brain. But even with that, I'm still smarter than everybody. That's the beauty of it. Cream bone.
That's because you're a doctor. I mean, not that all doctors are smart, but I mean, you just happen to be.
No, I'm like wicked smart. Like my boy's wicked smart, especially for a fake doctor.
That's true. That is true. Also, here is our second co-host. He's the man with a name on the marquee. He's number 7 in your program, number 1 in your hearts. Quite debatably, he might actually be the second sexiest man in bowling, and we'll get into that here in a second because there is some debate now between our special guest and our beloved Johnny Jr. JP Jr., what's going on, brother?
Don't ever embarrass me like that or anybody else. I'm definitely the sexiest.
Okay, fair enough. That's
with all due respect.
That's
coming
fair.
to you live from my hotel room in Viva Las Vegas.
Which hotel are you staying at?
Good old
Hotel
South
California.
Thanks, Eagles. No, I'm chilling at South Point, which is where I'm going to be until Saturday, and
Nice.
It's fantastic and pleasure to be here, guys.
Well, it's good to have you here, brother.
You do see my name. In case you guys don't see my name, I'm going to bring in like the real butter in a moment, which is kind of my surprise before we bring in our actual guests. But I will say this before I bring this guy in. Had the greatest convo ever earlier, and I actually want to dive into it after we get to our actual guests and what they have to say. But I had a heart-to-heart convo with this guy because, in case y'all don't know, I'm fucking crazy. And when it comes to bowling, my brain's not exactly there all the time, even though my talent is. So I went out of my way to ask the gentleman who's sitting to my left, how do you do it? And I figured we may as well bring in this guy.
Welcome to the show, Jacob Buttriff. What's going on, Butters?
How's it going, Rob? How's it going, Ocho?
Doing well, man. Good to see you again. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Like I said, with JP and him and I chatted earlier, and
so now we're officially the second and third best lefty on the show.
Yeah.
Again.
That's fair. That's
never
true.
the first. I can guarantee you that.
Not you.
Like, yeah.
I mean, it's true. So I've noticed a little bit of frustration during your season here, Butters, which is unfortunate. I know you started off pretty well, and then, you know, like a lot of people, you're going through kind of a down point. But we have no doubt that your talent is there, and you'll figure it out shortly.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster, I'll admit it, but at the same time, it's like, you know what? Like, I'm still gonna go out there and pull my career. Like, it's just who I am. We all go through it. Like, no one's ever perfect, and at the end of the day, like, when you ask questions, you're just gonna solve answers. Honestly, like, no one's ever perfect. So, I think at the end of the day, we're just gonna go out there and live our career.
Yeah, and that's all you can do, brother. And we're
about that, Rob. Honest to God, is that's what he said to me earlier downstairs. I actually asked him, like, what do you do when, like, I know I'm good, but like, what do you do when you know you're going to win, or like how to win? And the biggest thing that we got, at least I got from our convo earlier, was just keep going and stop second guessing yourself. And that's pretty sexy, and hence the reason he's a future Hall of Famer. And absolute pleasure to have you here, brother.
And in his own right, one of the sexiest men in bowling. I mean, you know, let's be honest.
Tom Brady doesn't win every Super Bowl. I'll tell you that much.
No, you're right. Right.
Yeah,
it was very nice.
And you know, I follow Kim Ballaby on Facebook, and he's going through the same thing. I mean, it's going on right now. It is what it is. I mean, there's so much talent out there. Eventually, you guys are going to figure it out. So obviously, we're still pulling for you, brother. But
it's not easy. It's supposed to be hard. And just like Jimmy Dugan says, if it was easy, anybody would do it. And that's why only can do it.
Look how good Joe Burrow was. He got hurt in the preseason. This year, it was rough for him. Yeah. So, prime example right there. Like, he bowled. Jesus.
Joe Burrow was tearing up the lanes for the Bengals. And then
he's a house hack.
He played so good last year. And this year, he got hurt in the preseason. And it was really rough for him this year.
Never the same. And then got hurt in the
football. How do you feel about your 1-year contract for the Steelers?
I mean, they ain't paying him nothing. It's just that he's a little over the
money. Like, how do you actually feel?
I don't like it. I don't hate it. They did something. I'm okay with it. What's that?
Rob, we're done. He wants Cordell Stewart. How about?
I never said that. I would have taken Neil O'Donnell though, but that's for sure. He got us to a Super Bowl at least.
He play like third string for like Notre Dame.
Like for so long.
Rob, before we get too nuts here, why don't you bring in or give us what you got before we bring in our actual special guests, other than this future Hall of Famer?
No, this is
this gentleman right here. What do you got?
This is this is a fun show, but we gotta bring in
the talent. Nah, I'm just kidding.
He's such a dick, Ocho. Yes, we are going to bring in the very other special guests. We have so many. This is like a party show. This is badass.
Hurry the fuck up, Rob. Jesus Christ.
Ocho, really?
Get your Popeyes Louisiana chicken off the brain and bring it in.
You know, shit happens.
I have a very special video package, as we always do here for our very special
guests.
That's
good for audio. That's great.
Here, shut the fuck up. God damn it, Ocho. Here is a look at Nate and Elise.
People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end. People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a one-boy, cuddly toy, my up, my down, my pride and joy. People, let me tell you about him. He's so much fun. Whether we're talking man to man or whether we're talking sun to sun, 'cause he's my best friend. Yeah, he's my best friend. La la, ba la 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 ya, ba la 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 ba la 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 ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, not on a cruise this time, Nate and Elise.
And I saw that Steelers hat. I saw the Steeler hat, so you're already welcome.
Yeah, my mom's side is from Pittsburgh, so.
Absolutely. We'll take you're in. You're in already.
We tried to get the private jet this time, but I let someone else borrow it, so we're just
understood. I'll get it back. I'm using it just for the weekend. We're fine.
Sorry,
I got the gas paid for and everything.
I'm gonna start the show here. I want one of those neon signs. Just saying.
I got this special made. Yeah, they're actually pretty cheap on Amazon.
That's really cool. Well, Elise, good to have you back, and good to have your other half here for a change. Nate, what's going on, brother? Good to finally see you face to face ish.
What's up, guys? It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. I know I'm not as good looking as her, but I'm glad that you've had extra room for this ugly looking dude on the podcast. But it's an honor. Thank you guys so much. I look forward to this. I was excited. This is the highlight of my week.
It's a pleasure to have you here too, dude. And don't sell yourself short. You're very handsome.
You're a tremendous slouch.
His height.
You want to start with our guests, or what's up?
It's your show, brother. Go ahead.
I'm going to start with the jams.
Damn.
Actually, first, I'm going to start here.
Yeah.
I only fucking brought my computer. Sorry about cursing. I only brought my computer to Vegas for this show because Elise came live from a cruise ship. Only reason my laptop is here. 10 out of 10 other times, I'm like, guys, sorry, I'm not going to be here this week. I'm going to go get drunk and do all that noise. But honest to God, like, we are here because Elise, with all due respect, Nate, you were here for us. So thank you so much again, both of you, for being here, but especially you, Elise. This one's for you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're okay, Nate, but especially you, Elise. Nate, curtain
jerk. I'm gonna have Nate.
Especially you, Elise, but Nate.
I know I'm riding the coattail. It's all good. I established that from the beginning. So I'm just here
I
for the
thought they'd
ride.
at least hide it a little bit, but they're just being overblown it about like.
I think that's how they put his
Nate's here.
Nate, I'm pretty sure on one of the past shows I said that if I could be reborn and reincarnated, that I would want to throw it like you. So
he did say that. Yes.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Thank you so much. The old shows, so
I greatly appreciate that.
I'll run you back too. But I guess my first question is the Jams tournament with one of our recent guests, AJ Rice.
Yes, sir.
First off, I don't even know what that tournament is, which is embarrassing. You don't either.
Not a lot of people do.
I've probably never been eligible for it. So.
I guess we suck then.
Yeah.
So we may as well tell us about that event and, give us a little bit of a rundown with that event first.
Yeah, man. So I've been bowling it for 5 years now. The tournament's been around for 6. The first year that it came around, there was only about 50 teams over one weekend. So it was very, very small. And I started bowling it after the first year, and it's grown and grown and grown. And now it's the is the biggest team tournament in the country besides nationals.
Wow.
So it has grown from literally nothing to one of the biggest events in Florida. Actually, the biggest event in Florida and one of the biggest events in the country. So
it was 633 teams.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of teams, they have strike pot tickets, every single squad where you can win $2,000 or more. There is brackets, there is high games, there is anything you can imagine for a 3-game set and a 4-person team. So
there's another pot that got up to $10,000. They had to split it.
Yep, the Queen of Hearts. So there's like this card game that goes along that you sell tickets for at the front desk. So it's very, very interesting. There's money to be made there for sure. I bowled the event 5 years, like I've said, and the past 5 years I have gone first, second. So it's been pretty cool, and it's one of the most, I would think, one of the highest prestigious events in Florida since it's gotten so big, and that's why I bring down a lot of great guys like Michael Holloman, AJ Rice. I brought down a couple other guys that bowl on tour. Farrell Williams, the owner of Royal Flush Apparel, and one of my good friends. He's bowled with us this year, so we had a lot of great guys come down. It was a lot of fun.
The good stat is the only teams he's ever had win, I was on. So there's that.
I'm going to say this because you mentioned his name. Farrow is basically my second dad. So so badass, and he wants to be on the show, and he's definitely going to be one of our next guests. Yeah. But let me ask you another question, like a more important question, especially for the viewers. What ball or balls? Was it on a house shot? What kind of condition were you guys bowling on?
Yeah, so we were bowling on their modified, I would say, well, it's their house shot, but this year they changed the volume because apparently last year it was hooking a little too much. I preferred it because my ball hooked from everywhere. But to start the first weekend, they were very tight. And as the weekends went on, the front part of the lane started to go away. The middle part of the lane started to hook more, but some pairs, like the back ends, got really, really tight, especially 17 and 18. That's probably one of the tightest pairs in the house. But they added more volume to have, people play their lines a lot longer. And honestly, it helped the girls out this year. I think Elise had her highest set there in quite some time, and she was able to stay in a part of the lane where her ball wouldn't overhook, especially with all the traffic on the right side. So it's their house shot, but they upped the volume. I don't know exactly how much volume, but I would have to take a guess anywhere from 30 to 32 mils because that house shot hooks a lot there. So, but we were bowling on
really high center, high friction.
We were bowling on the house shot. Go ahead, Nate. We were bowling a house shot, and I used anything from IQ Emerald, Idol, Attention Star, DNA Coil, and I think that's it.
Yeah. What about you, Elise? What were your balls of choice? Considering, I guess I would want to assume that the extra volume is for the amount of teams. Don't want them to get so messy, like you said, so where everybody migrates super left and all that garbage, but. Elise, you said you were allowed to, or Nate said you were allowed to be in your comfort zone. What were your balls of choice?
Yeah, so
about two different parts of the lane here, two different games.
Yeah. So I actually really only threw one ball all weekend. I actually threw I threw the new Hypervenom. Really rolled well for me.
Almost as pretty as me.
Yeah, no, that ball, I'm really impressed with it. I'm super excited I was able to get that in my hands. And like he said, I shot pretty much over 7 every squad, and before that the lanes were just like, if you were a girl who threw it with any hand prior, you were so far left that it was really hard to carry there, so it was almost impossible for me to shoot over 650, even though I had won in previous years. But now with the handicaps, I had to shoot higher. So I even told him I wasn't even supposed to bowl, and then he had a couple people back out, and I was like, whatever, I'll bowl. And I was like, I know you guys need me to win anyways. And then of course the first squad I bowl, we literally almost took over the lead and lost by 6 pins, and that's the team that so I was joking about it, but then of course the squad I bowl, we almost did win. But yeah, the Hypervenom, really good. I definitely recommend that for those who are looking for a new kind of house shot ball. That ball was really, really, really good.
I see that you're still a free agent, Elise. Have you had entertaining any offers to sign with anybody?
Anyone who wants to give me a bowling ball.
That's fair.
Yeah, I know. I'm loving it. I'm honestly loving seeing all the shapes. For our sport to survive, we need everyone to survive. So I think it's best, in my opinion, to support all the brands, because I have had support from every single brand at some step in my career. So I think this is just awesome now, getting to see all the different shapes. And I'll be honest, like if I would have had like my storm pieces that I typically go to at this tournament, I think it would have been too strong for me, where it was kind of nice staying with like a weaker, ball that I would typically use. Literally with that Hypervenom, I think I moved my feet like 3 boards the whole time, which was pretty good. So, yeah, I'm loving having everything in my hands.
That's really cool. I've seen you. Are you excited about the new hammer releases?
Yeah, I am. I'm waiting to get those. Yeah, I'm waiting to get those in my hands. I was hoping to do them this week, but I haven't been able to yet. But yeah, I'm excited for those.
I just noticed your sign changed colors and back, and I was just like,
yeah.
I couldn't stop staring at it. I'm like, that's fucking cool.
It changes to like a million different color settings, so you might see a bunch throughout this whole time.
Ocho.
Sorry, I had to mention that.
We're good. Ocho, flex your biceps just one time for me.
For me too.
Thank you. Butters, do you have something?
Yeah, just the left hand. That's all that matters.
AJ Rice is in the house. Good to see AJ, Mr. 900.
Yes.
I want to say one thing about AJ real quick. I want to say one thing about AJ since we're all friends with him. Last night when I got to Vegas, I subbed in my old league, and I threw my new blue. My entire fucking team, dude, It was so awesome. Everybody was there. 25 fans cheering at League. When is the last time that's happened for anybody, right?
Only Ocho at Howell Lanes every Thursday
They're
night.
taking bets on all this shit. And I'm throwing the new blue. The first frame of the first game, I leave a 6-pin. And the first thought in my head was, well, so much for matching AJ. First thing I thought of, dude.
He's already wrapped.
See, he almost shot 100 with us at Jams. He almost shot it again, the night squad, on Friday.
I got the text messages.
JP, good run, buddy. Good run. You almost had him.
Good run. I only needed what?
Yeah, he only had the first.
You had the first none.
I guarantee he's shooting 300 right now just watching this.
Yeah. So can we actually talk about him for a minute, especially with one of the greatest. I can't believe I'm going to say this. One of the greatest left-handers to ever live. I fucking hate saying that. I'm so sorry. But, can we talk about how much AJ strikes? What is that?
You're looking at me, and I bowl.
You strike more than anybody I've ever seen. AJ's like, hold my beer.
Yeah.
What's going on with you guys?
He does that. I did want to touch on one thing though. When you said you were throwing the new blue in League, I'm like, I was thinking in my head, I'm like, that has to be too aggressive. That's not a T zone. So I'm like, where were you standing? Were you standing in the nosebleeds? Like, what was going on with that?
I love you so much for saying that. Let's throw that out there right now. Everybody that was watching me last night said, where's the T-zone?
That's fantastic.
And meanwhile, I'm nervous because it's so cracked around the fingers, there's nothing left. Allow me to use this ball. But I did use a hammer axe today and did go 30 clean at the BJ for 716. Let's go.
Let's go.
Nice.
Let's not mention the fact that. Are you going to bring it up?
You bring it up.
He didn't get in.
You're the guest.
Oh, come on, bro.
I didn't get in.
Yeah.
I've never gone 30 clean in my life at USBC.
Come on, man.
With all due respect, guys, I don't have that much confidence in myself when it comes to that.
I watched him bowl, and I'm like, JP, come on, man. It's literally a come on, man on ESPN.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. What is it, $20?
It's $20, and now he's going to lose on, what, $500?
Come on, man. Come on.
All right. Yeah.
Hey.
You dick.
Yeah. Even Ocho's like,
damn freaking right. If I knew what you guys were saying, I would still be pissed.
I'll tell you what, though.
I'm just here to do this.
I'm Michaela.
And Nate and Elise. Forget me. This show is not about me. Rob, what do you got for Nate and Elise?
Well, to touch back on AJ
yeah,
Rice, let's just talk about how much.
Yeah, let's circle back to that.
AJ, I bowled doubles tournaments with him. That guy can strike more than I can't even say it. I bowl doubles, I bowl long view doubles with him every year, and that guy can strike. When he gets lined up, you
don't.
Is there a saying? Is there a person? Do we say Jesus? Do we say somebody? What's the saying? Somehow there's got to be a cliched term here.
Stand in the back and you just watch him strike. That's
it. He strikes out more than Ocho doesn't strike out.
Nice like Rice.
He's just AJ. It's AJ nice right now.
There you go.
I will say, a lot of people, what I don't think know about AJ is besides him striking, he is literally one of the nicest people. And what I like about AJ is I feel like guys that are like him that could just run over anyone would be kind of cocky and rude to people. He could not be a person and easy to talk to, and he doesn't walk. Yes, of course he walks in the building being I can beat anyone in this building, but he genuinely is a cool dude. So I think that's God likes him for that, so he gives him some strikes.
Yeah, I mean,
I've
been very grateful to team up with him. We bowl plenty of doubles tournaments together. We bowl team tournament. We bowl the jams every year, so he's on my team every single year. We're going to bowl the Springfield doubles this year, which is going to be awesome. For him to just trust me with ball suggestions, moves, what to do, where to do it. I've watched him literally bowl almost as much as Jake, his backer, but just to be there for him and for him to trust me with a move or hey, what should I do in this certain situation? I just think I unlocked the beast even more for him to strike. So it feels good.
You know what, Nate? Speaking of that, because we asked Elise the first time she was on the show, what got you into it, and when did you know not only how beautiful you throw the ball, but when did you know I'm really, really good at this fucking game. Like, when did it happen for you?
Oh, man. Well, my story starts off with a kid from Port St. Lucie chasing a dream. I started bowling when I was 2 years old. I was born in Miami, Florida, and we moved to Port St. Lucie when I was about 3 or 4 years old. And I was really conflicted with bowling because I enjoy basketball a lot. I enjoyed flag football, all that good stuff. And in high school, I kind of made not in high school, in middle school, I made my decision because I love baseball, I love basketball, I love flag football. And there was just one day, like I made my, fast forwarding a little bit to where I made my high school basketball team. And I quit because I'm like, it's getting in the way of bowling. And I just like, whatever reason, I like sending pins flying. And I'm just going to keep doing this. And it's actually crazy because I didn't have a really successful youth career. I started getting better in college. And I would say my junior year is when I started to kind of like spring out, bowl more regionals. My junior year is actually when I finished second at a regional against Rhino Page. And then after that, it kind of exploded to where I started gaining more confidence. I started going to tournaments, starting to cash more, win more, all that good stuff. But believe it or not, I would say I made it, or I started getting good at this probably 5 years ago. And that was shortly after I won my first regional. I started to think, I'm like, okay, like I actually belong, like at least on the regional tour, at least. And then I started going around the country, winning bigger events, cashing in bigger events. I've made it through a ton of PTQs. Some of my main field performances haven't been fantastic, but I know that the PTQ field is just as hard as bowling against the national guys. And for me to make it through a ton of PTQs and make it into the main field, and I'm not finishing last, but I'm finishing like right at the cash number or just below that, and keeping up with them. And yeah, just having, people like you guys saying all the nice things that you've said, and my inner circle being so supportive. I believe in myself. I'm definitely going through, struggles here and there when it comes to the national tour, but I'm very close. So, and obviously with this past regional season, I won 3 times in 1 year. And I think that's pretty impressive against the field that we have to bowl against week in and week out in the South. So to win 3 times and to be just short of player of the year is definitely a confidence booster for sure.
Look like you had something to say. Or you don't?
Well, I had something to say. Jacob is beautiful. So
he is beautiful.
No matter what you say.
You got the best approach in bowling.
Just some of that, Nate.
Bring me down.
It doesn't matter if it's the regional tour or the national tour. Like, obviously, from first experience, like, at the end of the day, it's like it's hard to win, especially with the people that you could be against. And when you bowl regionals, this and that, you're still, like, bowling against the best. Like,
well, that's kind of like the conversation we had earlier is kind of where you are right now. Like the same combo we had when he won all those regionals in 1 year. Let's talk about the 9. But the stepping stones are exactly the same, right? I mean, for Elise, you too. Like it's you eventually like, I don't want to finish at the bottom. I'm close to the number. And eventually I'm going to kick everybody's ass. It's coming, right? You devote that much time to it. You care that much. This is your sport, dude. Give up basketball. I got drafted by the Indians when I was 17 as a pitcher. Not a lot of people know that.
I didn't know that.
And I gave up baseball for bowling, obviously, because my dad, what's my dad's name? I forgot his name.
JP.
For the same
Senior.
exact reason.
Yeah.
Like, actually, it may be a totally different reason, but we're all in kind of that same boat. And if you choose to never stop learning, you're always going to get better, which is one of the reasons you guys are like the pinnacle of the sport, and you guys are that good. And I have one of the best bowlers in the world next to me for the exact same reason. Rob, you have to agree with this.
Oh, I absolutely right. And Bug's in the chat too, and he's another one guy that just kind of was just missing it, just missing. And we saw, him win the Delaware this year. So, I mean, there's so much talent out there that's just below like the main event roster that at any time can break through, win a PTQ, and win a tournament, and then you're in the TOC, and who knows, where you go from there. So yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Yeah, the guy Boog is one of my good friends, and like it could not have happened to a more deserving person. That dude works so hard, even through all of the crap that he has gone through, where he's missed cuts because of a bad break, or missed making a show, or missed a regional title, whatever it was. He would smile, take it on the chin, and go right back to work. And I'm just so happy for him. Like, that guy deserves everything.
Absolutely.
We couldn't agree more.
I was telling Johnny when we were having our talk earlier, it's like when you walk into that building, when you're bowling, it doesn't like I told Johnny, like, Parker is my idol. Like, I fangirl over him. Like, I fangirl over him, especially when he welcomed me to the tour. And like, I could not have been more distraught and like more like, oh my God, this actually just happened. But I was telling him, it's like at the end of the day, when you're bowling that tournament, you have the same exact shoes, like not quite literally, but you have the same exact shoes to when you're about to throw a shot, that you have to have that mindset that you're like, oh my God, I have to beat this person for a title. And that is the mindset that I have had since day one. Yeah. And, I watch EJ, I watch Simo, I watch Belmo every single week. And I'm like, competing against these guys is beyond the most amazing thing on the planet. But at the end of the day, when I know I have to beat these guys, I have to realize I have to be better than them in order to beat them.
Yeah.
I have to.
I mean, and honestly, that's like one of the best in the world. Nate, the same thing you just said. Elise, the same thing that you do. It's crazy that every single person that loves this sport has that same exact mentality.
Yeah.
You guys agree? I mean, all of us, right?
In order to beat the best, you have to know that you can beat the best. Basically.
That's right.
I'm going to give up my seat for a moment because we have another legend in the house that just may have shown up. I'm just going to give you – no, you stay here. You stay here. You sit down. You stay there.
All right.
You come back to your seat. You come back to your seat.
Part-time air traffic controller.
I'm going to give a little prep for this one. Not only have you seen him on television a couple times, but he's also got several banners at the U.S. He is the most decorated USBC bowler there fucking is. And he's not in Kuala Lumpur. He's not in Osaka. He is in Las Vegas, and he's in my gosh darn hotel room.
And he's going to give you a
gosh darn. His name is Matt McNeil. Giving him my seat. Stop moving. You stay in your seat.
Rotating cheers. Directing just hold on. Directing left-handers is like herding cats.
Yeah.
Where to go. We don't know how to move. We can maybe hit the same place over and over and over again, and that's about it. I mean, asking us to move is a big ask.
I think that's like a foreign language.
Yeah, that's the Scroggy method, wasn't it? From the mid-00s, I think.
How many did you move in league last night? 2. Boy, it was a real hectic night. Let me I tell you, it was a real head scratcher.
Man, throw a ball change.
Yeah, meanwhile, they're like 2. You didn't move 1.
Don't even talk about a ball change. Oh my goodness gracious! Much less even a hand or a speed change with a ball change, and maybe moving 3 or 4 or 5 boards. Now you're getting. I mean, you're going to have to send those calculations to NASA.
My brain's hurting. Just
NASA will figure it out.
Well, Matt, thanks for being here. We didn't expect you to show up either, so nice to have you on the show. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, this is my first time. What is it? I'm getting deflowered here on the podcast.
That's usually what I do, but it's a little different in this instance. So
he's won a couple Eagles. He's good.
I was good at one point in time in my life. Good. I was pretty good.
Don't let him fool you, people. He's still good.
Yeah.
I ain't as good as I once was. Yeah. I'm as good once as I ever was. R.I.P.
Nice job, Ocho. God rest him.
Damn it.
God rest.
I'll keep this show flow going.
For the first time ever, we have more lefties and righties on this show. I don't know what to do.
The heck it is. Yeah, now we're outnumbered.
So is Ocho a left-hander?
I'm ambidextrous. I can kick it with my foot if I want to. That's how good I am. It's stupid. especially on a house shot.
No, Elise and Nate are right-handed.
I'm a lefty.
Yeah, but
Rad Rob is left-handed.
Yeah.
You just had
Rad Rob, I know him off camera, but tell Matt McNeil your arsenal.
And don't say Popeyes.
All right, so shut the fuck up, Ocho. Jesus. I don't bowl regularly anymore, but let's just say my equipment is from the 1990s. I still have
that was an amazing time to be alive.
So
I still have the OG Teal Rhino Pro and the Ford String Quantum.
Now, do you have the one with the neon fill or the purple fill?
The neon fill.
Okay, all right.
And actually, it was Ricky Ward's ball I got for working the PBA truck at Bradley Bowl. So,
all right.
Ricky Ward,
old Tricky Ricky Mental Ward.
Yeah. So, and I have a Swamp Monster that was just Johnny's
favorite.
favorite.
He's got a pro shop down in my area.
Does he really?
Yeah. And he's got a pro shop down in Fort Myers.
Dude, he was hot for that.
What's the Swamp Monster? That thing had so much particle in it. I think you could sand furniture with that ball. I really do. I remember that thing.
I've done well with it. No, I literally bought it because it said Proactive. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Okay, I'll buy it.
Yeah, Proactive.
So,
yeah. You guys are speaking a foreign language now. It's a urethane and reactive resin in this era.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But those Proactive zones back in the day, oh my gosh. Do you remember those, Johnny? Those Proactive zones?
Way too much. I will say this.
They hooked early.
We had a convo. My dad drove me to the airport. So obviously you listen to what dad has to say. So the convo started with, John, just remember, every time you get behind the wheel, you're endangering yourself and somebody else if you drink alcohol. That's how it started.
Yeah.
The second one, we brought up Jason Hurd.
Oh, Jason
Hurd. When dad and Jason Hurd won the doubles, and dad was throwing the 2.0 Proactive while Jason Hurd was throwing the Imperial Quantum.
Yeah.
I remember like it was yesterday.
The Imperial Quantum.
And he was just bragging about Jason Hurd the entire time. And I have to cut myself off short because how the hell do we have Nate, Elise, Matt McNeil, and Jacob Buttriff, not to mention Ocho and Rob, all together for one fucking night?
Well, don't discredit yourself, bro. You put this all together. You're the face of this shit.
No, I didn't.
And you should have seen him bowl today at the BJ.
That guy did.
That's what they were just saying.
Oh, that was unbelievable. I mean, I told him I watched about 4 shots, and I can attest to this. He had the best ball reaction in all of Clark County. Okay, I'm not just saying South Point at the BJ in that little freeze frame of time. I am saying the entire county of Clark County.
And when one of the best bowlers I've ever seen says
that was the nuts.
You want to talk about like making shit work that usually doesn't work?
It was the nut.
He did it.
Yeah, it was the nut.
Which, by the way, if y'all ain't Manscaped, I'm not going to show you my shit, but it works.
Oh, I got one of those. I got a Manscaped.
Hashtag straight up. Use our code. 20%
It's the 2000s.
So you know.
It's the 2000s.
So what was the ball of choice? Was it the NU or was it the Hello Kitty bear ball?
No, axe. I used the Hammer Axe.
Oh, that was the axe. Okay.
Hammer Axe.
And it looked good. Let me tell you what, it looked very good.
The greatest dude to ever throw a spare ball.
And I mean, for anybody,
you had a good pair though, because I came back and I bowled later on in the day on 21 and 22, and I played 22, 7, and about at least 5 balls different than I did the left lane. But being old and I throw 16 pounds, my ball is much more sensitive to bad topography.
You throw 16?
I do throw 16.
And I will say this. I'm used to this bowling center. Actually, both of them here at South Point. I bowled league here for 11 years before I moved back east. But the biggest thing for me is when I'm able to trap it, keep the ball forward, and know that I can't throw it in the gutter. And the only thing in my brain, this goes for anybody, all of our viewers. Remember this. If you're only thinking about one thing, like I was thinking about one thing today, stay under it. That's it. If I'm under it, it's going to roll soon. It's going to roll forward, and I'm going to play the front half of the lane. That was it. I wasn't worried about my speed. I wasn't worried about how quick my legs were. I wasn't worried about anything other than just stay under it. And the 4 times today that I wasn't under it, I got lucky and left a 4.7, or I split once. I did 7.9 on a turkey, which was beautiful. Gonna throw that out there. But
it was first open in 36 frames.
That's Jacob.
Yeah, first open in 36 frames.
Yeah,
7.9.
But to hear somebody like Matt McNeil come up to me and tell me how good my ball reaction is, you want to talk about that little extra heading into team event tomorrow?
You're bowling team event tomorrow? What time?
2 p.m.
Oh, thank you, James.
Thank you. Because I bowl Friday,
2 p.m.
So I'm going to watch him.
But I'm used to both of these.
Are you going to throw that
settings.
axe again in team?
I'm going to hopefully try.
Are you going to throw a urethane ball, you think?
I only brought one urethane ball.
Which one?
Attitude Control. I didn't bring any purple hammers.
He's left-handed and bring a purple hammer.
I'm going to try and write.
I think it would hook too much.
Left-handers that haven't been able to make the purples.
I have a question for Elise.
Oh.
Only because,
Where are you going?
although you're special, these are our guests.
Yes.
So I have a question.
Absolutely. Sorry.
Elise, are you fucking ready this year?
For what? I'm ready for a lot of things.
Are you ready to?
I like that answer.
Hell yeah.
Are you ready to win? And what are you doing to get yourself ready for the season?
So I think before the last time I talked to you guys, I was working with my doctors to get the stuff for my back, and I finally did get an epidural. I got everything for that.
Nice.
It was actually the day before my birthday, so about a month ago now, and that actually has been helping a lot. And through that, I realized that it was for sure my pitches and stuff that was keeping me from really doing what I wanted. Because before I was like, oh, it's my back. I'm not using my legs. So when I came back after my epidural, I was like, all right, it's time to actually get my pitches. So that way I don't have any excuses. And ever since I have switched my pitches, and I mean, I'm still having some back pain, but yeah, I'm feeling a lot better and stronger. And hopefully I can get through a whole weekend.
So what are your pitches and what were they?
Oh God. Because I had the other ones for so long. It was like I was 0.
Well, I know you.
I was a 0 and 8th.
You added a 16th to your span, and you
Yeah.
went a little more.
I won't reverse with my fingers,
away
but
in your
my fingers were 0-0, and like just like 3/8 left or an 1/8 right, and then my thumb was 0 and an 1/8 reverse. So now I went just an 1/8 forward and just reverse with my fingers. I'm very flexible, so I can do a lot of different things. And then I just added, like he said, a 16th to my span. And I was like, that should be good, because I've been there before I got hurt. And when I couldn't honestly be forward at all before, because it would pull my shoulder. Because a lot of people don't know, but that was my first injury I had, was I hurt my shoulder and I had a pinched nerve. So like any forward in the ball, I literally could not bowl. So
what do you notice is the big difference? I mean, for a bowler, if you feel it at the bottom, like, okay, that was a good one. So what do you feel differently going?
It hurts 90% less than it did, probably.
Yeah.
By the way, Nate and Elise, Ocho, I know he's crazy, but he's also brilliant, and he's also.
She knows. She met me. But that was the other thing I was going to say. Like, how amazing is it that mechanically, that little bit of tinkering affected 90% of your body? Because again, it's such an asymmetrical thing we're doing. That's why we're going to find out if the two-handers are probably using the better symmetry or not. But being off by that teeny bit is pulling on your shoulder. It's probably yanking the infraspinatus out. When they say pinched nerve, most likely your neck, going down the arm, going down the tricep, and you're basically. They're the boss now. Once the injuries hit, the injuries are the boss. You're guarded. You're afraid to let go of the ball. But even to dial it in that the pitch was the issue is kind of wild.
Yeah.
I guess much like how Johnny's thumb was the issue, and now he doesn't have to worry about it. So he goes thumbless. So anyway.
Yeah, I'm just a really big
bad fit. You just can't. It's impossible.
And that was
a bad fit.
For everybody watching, listen to what Matt just said. You cannot out bowl a bad fit. It's impossible. The same way you can't.
But you have to know it's a bad fit too, and that's the unfortunate thing.
Same way you can't throw a football with the right grip, right? I mean, it's just like any other sport.
I mean, if you get done with league, just even league, 3 games, okay, and you see you see burning of the skin, rubbing of
blisters
the skin,
and whatnot.
These types of things. You probably got some issues going on there. Now, I will say this. I do a lot of coaching all over the world. I think grip pressure is one of the things that is seldomly talked about.
Yep.
I would say at least 90+% of the people that I deal with have excess grip pressure. And all that does is it creates more problems getting out of the ball cleanly and consistently. On top of it restricts a free arm swing. So they get the ball into the top of the downswing at different points in time, especially if they get a 4 or 5 bagger going. Well, guess what's going to happen? I mean, you're going to squeeze it. And so now the timing is going to change. And so now you're double whammying yourself, because not only are you going to get late, you're going to get steep, but now you're also already got, the Dr. Claw thing going on. And so now it's going to be 5, now it's going to be a red number instead of 8 or 9 spare. So you have to have a fit that promotes a very loose, relaxed hand where you can get out of the ball cleanly and consistently every single time, where you can create a free arm swing that gets into the top of the downswing every single time. And it just has to happen. Bowling is a game of how many, not how.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead, Elise. We cut you off like 48.
Oh, no, you're
fine. So go ahead.
Literally what he said is, like, a lot of people, I was going through a process because I am a very big field player, and I know, like, what it felt like bowling my best before I had injuries and stuff. And I knew I was, like, dropping the ball because I had went reverse, obviously, to help myself so I could even bowl, because I did get into a point where I was trying to get better at not squeezing it. So I was trying to get a feel of having as much tape as possible, so I knew what that felt like and still being able to release the ball. So then once I got to the point where now I was dropping that's when I was like, okay, now it's time to go back forward. I'm a little bit more healthy, and now I don't squeeze the ball, which is great. So sometimes people don't really understand, you kind of have to play with pitches sometimes so you can feel, how you can have the tightest thumb possible without feeling like you're going to go down the lane, because you have to see, like, some people are a little bit different, like how, like, he can have his tape super, super, super tight and still be able to get out of it, where I need that little bit reverse to help me stay in the ball with the thumb tape just being.
Remember Mark Roth used to, like, it looked like he had a drill press out as a thumb, and he was corkscrewing the damn thing in there.
Yeah. Because the first person I thought of with the tape is one of the best bowlers that's ever lived, and that's Chris Barnes. Like, his thumb is, if you guys have ever seen Chris Barnes balk, like, it's an effort to take his thumb out.
Mm-hmm.
Think about how clean and how committed and how awesome he is at the bottom.
Think about Norm, too.
Norm, same exact.
I mean, Norm was no bevel. Norm was no fresh off the press. I mean, in those edges, I could shave with the edges on Norm stuff.
100%.
And you want to talk about loose hand. I mean, if that doesn't tell you what right and wrong is, I don't know how I can better illustrate the point.
Yeah.
But
that was where I knew I got to, like, a good point.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, and, like, that's where I knew I got to a good point, because for a while I was, like, having to use finger tape. I was having to use thumb tape, and I know a lot of people don't like to hear this, but typically if you're using that, it's because you're ripping because you're squeezing the ball. And I knew for me, like, when I was using thumb tape, it was because I was ripping at the top, like in the front. And if you tell someone, like, oh, it's because you're squeezing, they're like, no, it's not. And I'm like, I can tell you right now, I can bowl 20 games a day and I won't rip or tear. Because I learned not to squeeze the ball. I learned to do the proper things. And, that, like he said, a lot of people don't talk about that. They're just like, how do I get a higher rev rate? How do I fix my swing? But if your ball doesn't fit, you can't fix any of that.
Well, Nate, feeding off Elise, what about you? Because you have a very powerful game, but you're different than most of the best in the world. And I say that because you're tall.
Yeah.
Everything about you is long.
Yes.
And you are clean and
That's a clip.
Elise.
Elise. I'm glad somebody finally.
When I saw Karen Nate bowling, I just instantly assumed he was long.
All jokes aside from your long.
I'm going on their Instagram page right now just to see if that's true.
So, like, honestly though, like, What about you?
My dad is watching this.
No. Like,
we didn't say shit. You did. That should be embarrassing.
Well, one span. That's
my dad's 6'6". My dad
what I guess my question was,
he has a big hand, so he has a long span.
What I guess my question is since you're tall in a world that most of the elite are not tall.
Yeah. So
like Norm Duke, like EJ, like Kyle, like Jesus, dude. Like we can go down the list. Pete Weber. Norm.
Yeah, but what about? I mean, look at
from Mika,
but look at the
and Randy Peterson,
tall guys. I mean, you had Hook and Bob Hanley. You had Steve Cook.
I get it.
You had Gary Dickinson.
So now we have to ask Nate.
Well, that's the whole thing.
Those with all due respect, they're not bowling on tour right now.
No, they aren't. But they were tall.
So aside
guys
from
and they
Mika,
were very, very good.
I can't think of another tall guy with as beautiful as
Wes
game.
Malott.
Wes Malott, Tom
Wes
Doherty,
is
like
ever seen
Doherty's
movies? Ever seen the movie Space Jam?
Yes.
Remember when Bill Murray says Larry Bird's not white, he's clear?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Wes Malott.
Okay.
But when it comes to Nate, what are your misses, Nate? Like, what are your tendencies with that long ass body? Like, and because you are very committed, you throw it beautifully. We all know that. But like, what are your misses, and like, how do you fix it?
Well, I guess to answer the question of misses, my misses are usually in. I have a lot of miss in. I don't have. It's not hard for me, but my A game is not to stand left and throw it to 3. That is not, just with how I've grown up, how I've seen the lanes. It's very not difficult, but it's not my A game to throw it dead right. When it comes to my grip pressure and everything, I have a very tight thumb hole. Maybe not as tight as Chris, but there are some points where I am forcing my thumb to get in there, so that way I don't squeeze it. Because as soon as I do squeeze it, I start to miss spares. I start to thumb down the ball, which makes my ball hook earlier. Even though I love watching my ball read as early as possible, because I don't like playing the down lane shape. I like seeing it more front to back. So. But yeah, my misses are that, and then when it just comes to that, it's really just a push away kind of issue. I was actually struggling with it yesterday when I was practicing. I'm like, why is everything feeling like garbage off my hand? And it was just when I was moving the ball, because obviously I have a very long swing. I have very, bigger steps than other people. So I think timing and push away in my first 2 steps is key, because if those are off, the rest is just going to be off. It's going to either hang in my hand, I'm going to loft it, I'm going to lay it down, I'm going to miss it, all that good stuff. So
I would say the big thing too is I've watched you bowl a lot, Nate, and I know I've watched you bowl on tour, is when I see you bowling bad, your feet are too quick.
Yep.
Because you have a long swing. So when your feet get quick, your foot tempo and your arm tempo don't match, and then you get steep and you get pulley, right? And that causes the favorable miss to the left.
Yep.
I'm sorry. When you just pull down, generally you're pulling it.
It's going left.
To left. So the big thing, like you just nailed it on the head, and you're a very self-aware bowler, and that's the most important thing, I think, for all bowlers, is to be very, very self-aware.
100%.
Is that your push way and your first 2 steps have to be at a certain tempo, so that your foot tempo and your swing tempo will match up. Right. And the biggest thing that I would say going forward, and this is just me offering unsolicited advice, is to keep your feet slow. Tall people always have to walk slow, and it's just you have your arms are so long, you create such a long swing. You just got to give that swing time.
Yeah.
For anybody that's I don't give a shit who you are, rewind that last 20 seconds.
And it's please. The same thing with short people.
And I'm gonna follow this up with you, because going into nationals tomorrow, I'm gonna make this about myself for a minute. Because you are the king of USBC nationals, or the Open Championships.
It's the fucking national.
What do you do? Like, in other words, obviously you have the confidence now, but like when you started here, when you started here, what I mean by here is USBCs.
Yeah.
When did you know that you were just going to kick the living, out of everybody? And what is your mindset when you're on the lanes? when it comes to talking about Nate bringing it down, or we're talking about anybody, what are you doing to
simple, absolute simple checklist? Create good ball motion, make good shots. That's just absolute priority number one. Create good ball motion. Is my ball slowing down close enough to me? Yes or no? And generally at nationals, it's a no. So then you're going to have to say, okay, what do I have to do? Either I'm going to have to do something physically.
Go back for a minute. Making your ball slow down close enough to you. So your goal is to eliminate down lane motion?
Well, it's to create good ball shape.
Okay.
And 90-some% of the time, Nate can attest to this. I think some other people can attest to this.
Jacob.
I would say 90-some% of the time when people are in trouble, their ball's not slowing down close enough to them. Okay? It's not a bar none statistic, but in my experience, repping on the tours
what Nate said.
And dealing with bowling myself, that's the issue. So, okay, when it does slow down, how is it responding? Is it too slow or is it too quick? And so if you can just answer those two questions simply, you can point yourself in the right direction without going into this thought rabbit hole where you really just blow a bunch of frames. So you're really just trying to think about it objectively and keep it simple. Hey, is my ball slowing down close enough to me? No. Okay, so what do I have to do? Probably get my hand a little more forward, bring my speed down, something like that. Okay, I have a plan of action I'm going to commit to. I go out and execute it. Okay, that one slowed down, but it was too slow, right? Okay, so now I need something it still needs to slow down that part of the lane, but now it needs to be a touch quicker. Now I have choices. I can rotate it a little bit, or I can make a ball switch. I can do a little of both. Okay, so my next ball is off of this one. It's this one. So then you make a clear-cut, concise decision again, and you go for that plan of action. Now, I'm going to preface this whole thing with, it doesn't work every single time, and because the variables are different every single time.
Every time.
So all you're really trying to do is make better decisions than the people you bowl against. That's all you're trying to do. Granted, when you go compete on a tour, everybody's pretty darn good at that level. It just comes down to who can play chess instead of checkers and make well-educated decisions, commit to them, and commit to them quicker than other folks. And that's all it is. I don't care how good you are anymore. If you don't have it here, you're dead to me. Because you're not going to outbowl bad ball reaction. Just not going to happen.
Aside from knowing I'm going to kick ass at nationals tomorrow because of this conversation,
sure.
When you imagine that mentality for all of our viewers, imagine that mentality and then think, does everybody else think like that? Of course they don't.
No.
That's the 1%. I love weightlifting. Ocho loves weightlifting. 1% of the population can bench
clearly don't.
5. One. What about the other 99%?
You still have to look at
Are they scared of the weight? Are they scared to get on the bar? Doesn't matter. If you are that 1%, like this guy, like these two, like that guy, Butters, that is probably the sexiest thing I've ever fucking heard on this show.
And on that note, I have to go. I got a dinner reservation. I got to run. But thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Thanks for showing up, brother. We have to have you on again.
All right,
Tony, you're the
Rewinded to when Elise said you still have to lift that Popeyes bucket again or something.
Anytime people tell me I'm not working out online, I'm like, I still have to.
Traded one legend for another legend to join these two legends.
Elise, say that again. You keep getting cut off because these guys are showing like pigs.
I just said anytime someone tells me I don't work out, I say it still takes a lot of effort to bring the food to my mouth. Like, it's still working out, okay?
Goddamn right.
Depending on the size of the portion, I mean, you got to see the spoons I got.
I am the strongest eater alive.
You kidding me?
We're all men here. Nice work.
Thank you.
Elise, don't listen. You guys.
La 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 la.
You guys were already talking about his giant weenie already, so Jesus,
we've already learned that Nate is long.
He's long everywhere, apparently.
He's beautiful.
And like Johnny said it and not Elise, so now I'm like, all right, somebody knows something that we don't.
We all suspected, but now it's been confirmed.
Oh, it still hasn't, but you can't do that. Don't do bad journalism.
Mythbusters approved.
Rob Ocho.
Yes, Johnny.
Take the show. Talk to our guests. What do you guys got?
So both of you have kind of had the injury bug in the last year or so. Nate, how hard was it to come back from what happened to you?
I was gonna say, wait, his was self-inflicted. He could have avoided it, but didn't.
True.
So
That's
just
fair.
want to put that out there.
I mean, that's fair, but regardless, he still had to do it.
What a garbage can.
For sure.
Wait, so no, for the hot people with the mask, let's tell this story here. Hold on.
For the uneducated, please let everybody know what happened to you, Nate.
Don't say uneducated, you slimy rat.
To be fair, I don't just let anybody be friends with me on Facebook, because then I have to start unfollowing people that I don't know and all that stuff. And I just don't want to, follow people that I don't know. So
I only have women in my DM, so I get it, man.
I can see why you're
they want to see the Manscaped. That's it. And now that's why we're selling tons of it.
Your biceps are bigger than all your legs, so I can understand why the ladies want you, bro. But yeah, so just going back onto what had happened. I just got done winning a regional in Virginia with my idol Walter Ray. We both
sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Walter who? Sorry, I didn't know who.
Yeah, just some scrub off the street or something. Nobody important. But yeah, so we just got done. Headed to
another long guy, by the way. It's just FYI.
Yep. Headed to the airport and a 16-hour flight over to Sweden. And we get off the plane. We run into Dom Barrett. We are at the train station. We head over to Sweden because where did we fly into?
We're in Denmark.
Denmark. So we needed to take a train like an hour or so away or whatever. We get to the hotel and we drop all our stuff off. And Dom's like, hey, do you want to go see the bowling center? And I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm like, I don't want to be a party pooper. Like, I just got done, like, traveling all this way. Like, I'm pretty tired. But I'm like, okay, sure, let's do it. He's like, well, the only way to get there is Uber or scooters, and it's about a mile away. So I'm like, okay, I've been on scooters. Like, this should be fun. I've never been in another country. So, yeah, let's see the town or whatever. So hop on the scooters. We're going down, and I could literally see the bowling center. It's like 500 feet away from me. And Dom goes over, like, a curb. So I try to follow him. I hit the curb, I flip over the scooter, and I hold like my hands out to like brace for impact, and I hit the ground at 20 miles an hour. So,
ouch. I thought he hurt his back, to be honest.
So honestly, when I hit
I used to race motocross, so this is hitting home for
on
me.
a scooter.
But I was doing a lot faster, and I was on a big track. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm just imagining Nate and Dom on scooters.
Yeah.
Triple Crown winner. Keep going. Keep going.
Big thing up in Europe?
What?
Did you hit your wrist or your elbow then? What was because
it's crazy because like when I hit the ground, my arms didn't hit the ground.
Yeah, it was weird. He was like,
you face planted basically.
No, my hands hit the floor,
But
and I rolled.
Yeah, he did like the scorpion.
Oh, gotcha, like ninja flip kind of thing.
So my hands hit the floor and I roll over and I hit my back on whatever. My back was fine, but like
can't believe it.
So I hit the ground and I'm sitting there and I can't breathe. And I'm like,
Don was like, "Shake it off! You got to get up!" And I'm like,
"Did you hit a rib? Did you catch a rib or something?"
Rub some dirt on it.
No.
Were you standing up in the air and you're like, "What just happened?"
Yeah,
this is like slow motion stuff too. By the way, guaranteed. Like it's totally slow motion, and like this is my life right now, and I
don't know. I honestly don't know how I broke both of my arms, but I hit the ground with my hands. I flip over onto my back, and I'm looking up at the sky, and I can't breathe, and I'm like, I can't pick up my arms.
Were you counting sheep in the air, basically?
No, wait a second. You must have the olecranon, right? Did they say you had an olecranon fracture or something like that?
Sure, the olecranon.
I nailed it again.
No. Like honestly,
one was he broke one of them in the front part of the elbow and one in the back. Like,
so I just nailed. That's literally where they look at the olecranon. Somebody look up olecranon process, olecranon fossa, please, and put it up. I'm not doing it. Go ahead. Olecranon fossa, olecranon process.
That is not what they told me.
Because they lied to you.
They just said your left and your right arm.
Yeah. So originally.
Bob, bring that back up because I don't know what half those words are. But guys, was it Odense or actually I know how to say this in Finnish. Åborg.
No,
Denmark.
We flew into
It's
Copenhagen.
not like too tight. Like, I mean,
I thought that said obese at first, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's not Bob.
Yeah, I was like, "Wow, is someone already making fun of me right now?"
Is that a
the
picture
elbow?
of
That's the humor.
Hey, no dirty pictures on the show.
Oh, that's Nate.
I was about to
Thank
say,
you, doctor. Thank you, doctor.
thank you, Doug. I just got a stomach ache looking at that. But
So
I
pretty
mean,
much.
I'm still picturing Nate and Don Barrett on scooters.
Oh well, here's the worst
Well,
part.
it's never happening again.
Well, the next night, Dom wouldn't tell anyone, but he hurt himself the next night. He busted
Like
up
my dad's a Triple Crown winner. I don't think I've ever seen him on a scooter.
No.
Like
We've put in scooters before, like other cities in the U.S., and we've never had a problem. It's just that Nate thought it would be fun.
So let's get back to Nate, though. Like, you're talking 6 weeks now, right? Like, they got to cash
European
you up. You got to
scooters.
basically have both arms like this. You can't even, like, eat your potatoes. Like, what do you do?
This is where it gets even more interesting.
You're literally T-Rexing it.
This is where it
you
gets,
need help in other ways.
yeah. This is where it gets more interesting. So,
Dad, hang up.
when I went into the hospital in Sweden, originally they told me my left arm was broke. My right arm was fine. It would be fine in 2 days. Like, you just hurt your muscles or whatever. Kind of fast forward, like, we don't need to bore the audience with the whole story. So we fast forward.
I'm not boring at all. Are you kidding me?
No, I mean, no, seriously, we want every detail.
We fast forward
Down to the gown you wore in the hospital.
I didn't wear it. No,
There he is, because he's long fella. He's long Nate. I got you. I don't blame you.
They have a gown. They have a gown that fit. So
The insurance covered it. Don't worry.
So we get back home. Luckily, Kyle Troop helped us out to get back home quicker. So we flew into Tampa. We went straight to the hospital. They took X-rays, and even then, they still didn't say that my right arm was broken. They just said
Did an MRI probably eventually, right?
They did an MRI. They did X-rays, all that good stuff, so they could have their own or whatever. So what they originally did was, you're not going to be casted. You need mobility, because if we cast you, you're going to have more pain and more difficulties once you get done healing. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. So we're in the rehab process. Mind you, both my arms are killing me for 4 weeks. And then the 4th week of going to the doctor, they're like, yeah, you actually broke your right arm. And I'm like, oh, that's good. That's why I can't pick up a bowling ball. Like,
it
makes
started
sense.
to heal, so they were able to see it. They said like once it started healing, they could see that it was broken.
yeah.
It gets super white on the X-ray. There's a big calcium deposit there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it took 4 weeks for them to figure that out. So that explained why I couldn't pick up a bowling. I couldn't even put my fingers in my grips without having excruciating pain.
That makes sense.
So, and I was able
Anything. You can't pick up a coffee cup. You can't open a car door. You can't turn a doorknob. I mean, there's so many
I
things.
couldn't turn a doorknob, and it was hard for me to like carry things because my muscles were just hurting.
The steering wheel, things like that. See?
Yeah, the steering wheel. Like, I thought I was gonna faint with how like hard it was to turn. But
Poor
yeah,
Elise during all this. Holy shit.
I almost
Poor Nate. Are you kidding me?
Thank you. Everybody feels bad
Poor
for her. and I'm
fucking
just
Nate.
like,
just imagine Nate without bowling, and you
I
also
feel bad
know
for you,
how
dude.
bad-
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry.
He
What
wouldn't
just,
have survived it if he couldn't bowl ever again. He would not. We wouldn't be together.
Whatever.
He was like.
There's a few other things that the elbow does
Right.
take
He was
transfer
driving-
for, which I think you can't live without.
That's actually a great question since we have you both here. What you just said, Elise, let me put this.
I was like, did he
What a power pause that was. He just froze. I do that to the
I'll
whole
get
time.
there. I'll get there.
wait for it.
I'm single as fuck, but in my lifetime, I don't want a bowler. I just don't want to be with a bowler. But you guys seem to mesh extremely well, and what you just said, is it like, tell me why? Other than the obvious that you guys like do the same shit together, but like,
I mean, dude, do
No.
you look at me? Like, come on.
I mean, seriously.
He did not look
Like,
like
he-
this. I met
You're
him.
fucking basketball.
Go find a
Like the
picture
ball.
of 2013. That's like how I met him.
See, why are we?
I'm looking up long Nate on the internet, and it comes
Jacob is really, really trying to just have half his face in camera. He's doing everything he can. I keep pushing the camera this way, and he's like this.
No, I'm just enjoying the conversation. That's all.
Oh, can I ask one question of Butters real quick?
Of course, Rob.
Not
Yeah,
that
get
you
him
were-
involved, Rob.
Not that you were fat before, but I mean, you look like you've gotten in better shape. Is that accurate?
No, it's been
Not that you were fat.
Hey, I'm a fucking fat guy. I can ask another fat guy a question, okay?
So now you are calling him fat. Now you literally just called him fat. Now what the fuck?
I'm not fat. I'm like big bone, like Cartman from South Park.
He's got that big ass bone. That giant ass bone.
He does. He does. No, you look great. I haven't seen you in a while.
No, you were fat, and now you're less fat.
Now I'm less fat.
Okay, that's
fair. So you're skinny fat? Rob, you're still fat. Just letting you know.
We call that slim.
What's that called? That's called half-ass fat. Yeah.
There you go.
I think what Rob was trying to say was, you look great. What do you do?
You do look great.
And
what's your secret? Is what he's saying.
You said you
drink more water.
Exactly. Right.
Less whiskey, more water. Got it.
To hydrate the next day. I feel you. That's my motto.
And how much water I did not drink growing up, I drink a lot more now, and I'm good. So.
And honestly, you know what, Rob? Like, totally on the same wavelength. He said it earlier. He made a decision to better his life for his own reasons, just like anybody else that tries to do it. So it's fucking bad.
That's great. No, I commend you for that, Butters. I'm just busting your balls. No, but I just really meant it as a compliment.
I cannot wait to hang up and be like, so why are you less fat?
Secret recipe.
So good. So good. Good job.
What
Rob.
if he startles you and says he's the same fat, he just grew? Like, what if that's going to trip you out big time then?
I'm going to start calling that myself. Less fat. There you go.
Less filling.
Less filling.
He's also in those ripe years where everything is wonderful all the time. I mean, I'm 39 now. Like, I'm sipping on Diet Pepsi. I'd be dying to choke on tequila right now, but my heart won't take it. He's not there yet. You know, he's just not there yet. He will be. Like, you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh my God, I need 3 days to recover. When did this happen? I used to drink 8 bottles of this shit a night. Nice.
Good to have goals, man. Good to have goals.
And there's a reason he's the best bowler in the world. He knows how to handle this shit, and I'm assuming that's probably why.
Getting better at it, basically.
Yeah,
well, that's awesome.
Practice makes perfect, man, and everything. Look.
Yeah, look at me.
Hey,
We're
Rob.
no quitters here. We're no
quick.
quitters here anywhere.
Coach and Rob, while we have Nate and Elise, do we have an imbecile this week?
We don't. I figured there was too much going on that we weren't going to come up with one this week, but I mean.
Good man. I'll be right over here.
I'm right here.
All right, so Long Nate, getting back to your injuries. We're gonna make that. We're gonna hashtag that.
Put a T-shirt, man. You guys can freaking have a basic awesome T-shirt.
Hashtag Long Nate.
Actually, Rob, show Nate the picture because they used him for the state fair in Illinois.
Oh yes, I do. You're right.
Nate,
I forgot.
And for all of our viewers, here is an actual image of Nate.
I forgot he modeled. Yeah, they modeled after this.
That's right. There it is. There's Nate.
Congrats.
I didn't give them permission to use this photo.
And clearly not Manscaped. So obviously, hashtag straight up 5.
Which, by the way,
straight up.
It is.
They're not Nate's balls, just the rest.
It is proportionate.
Manscape that shit and use our code.
That was the true scale, by the way, too. So,
Rob, what's the code again? Straight up, right?
Hey, Nate, the 1 year we crossed the U.S. Open, what is your shoe size, by the way?
So it's very interesting. I didn't know bowling shoes were made bigger, but 14 in bowling shoes and 15 regular.
No, like 16.
No, it's 15.
Well, you
no. There was.
He's up with the canoes over there bowling.
At one point,
hockey skates are actually smaller. Go figure.
I put my shoe in your shoe. Like, that's literally what I said.
You want to put both in?
I literally looked at Nate and said, "Can I put my shoe in your shoe?" Like,
he's gonna walk in. Hey!
So good.
Yeah, I just nailed that, by the way. Fucking nailed it.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I was bowling so bad that weekend. I'm like, Nate, I was bowling your shoes, like, quite literally.
Before it gets too late and before we get too stupid. Special thanks to others and special thanks to Elise and Nate for both of you guys being here. And huge shout out to Rob for making this possible every single week, and to my doctor and my best friend.
Look at those muscles.
What an absolute pleasure to have you guys here. Like, this is the best. This really is the best.
What are you going home now, Johnny? You wrapping up? What the fuck?
No, I just wanted to make sure that I fucking threw it out there.
We got to soon, though, right? Like, I mean, shit. Let him want more next week, man. Don't give him too much at once.
Oh, I'm here.
What a fucking horrible response for what I just said. Who are you?
For a good time. I don't know why. Like we're good.
Hey, you're on the show every week. I'm just here for the shits and giggles. There you go. So.
I wish you guys could see the view of the roof that I have from here.
Just show them.
Yeah, just turn the fucking camera, dumbass.
Yeah.
I'll do it when we close.
Okay.
You just said you wish we could. And
I wish you could, but I'm not going to show it to you. So.
Window, I could show them. Like
fucking roof tees.
I wish you guys could see my manscape, but I'm just not showing until you're in my
Obviously, you
DMs.
didn't do your shoulders because I can see
That's
that.
not well. That's baby steps.
I guess
Under the arms are good to go now.
Dude, I had my mother shave my back because I'm going to go to the pool. Just so you know.
Did you use the manscape one, or did you?
It does look good, but with all due respect, you could manscape your shoulders.
Rob, to go back to your
like a
go back to the story of when my
See what I did there?
Oh yeah, thanks.
His arms broke. Shit.
Thanks for
And he's
bringing
in
a full
Sweden. He
circle
got
there,
back.
man.
Kyle Troop brought him back to the States.
yes,
Broke his
So
shit.
then,
Dude.
yeah, pretty much. And then they figured out that my right was broken after 4 weeks, and then I was able to finally throw a full shot after 6 weeks.
no rehab, by the way.
No
Needed.
rehab.
Really, no rehab at all.
So wait, they didn't stabilize it after the 4th week, so you just had 2 more weeks just to let that calcium deposit build up and.
Yeah, and a special shout out to Missy, which is my massage therapist down here in Florida, and my guy in Atlanta, Devano. They helped me so much. Devano's a chiropractor. They helped me so much get back.
Don't trust them.
I mean, hey, he was great because he's
I'm
not
totally kidding. I'm a chiropractor.
He's not just a chiropractor. He gets scar tissue out of muscles. That
Active release technique. You bet your ass.
Yes.
Ocho does the same damn thing. Look at these thumbs. They're not just for bowling, man.
Well, we're gonna have to make an appointment because I need some more loving.
Well, again, when Long Nate calls my office, he's getting right in. Let's see if your insurance covers that.
We could talk about that later. We'll make special arrangements.
Copay's going up, boys.
So yeah, after 6 weeks, we got back into it. I bowled my first regional. I missed one, which was the RPI in Florida. Then got into one of the other regionals, and that was the first time I was able to actually bowl 8 games. And I barely missed, but I knew it was a tournament that I just needed to get back into it. And then the following regional was my high. I still wasn't even 100%. It was so hard for me to hold the bowling ball at some points, but it was the highest that I've averaged in a regional period. I averaged like 229 over 18 games or something like that. We were bowling on Cheetah, and I finished 13th. And then the next week I finished 2nd, and then I won. So it was pretty awesome to come back that way.
I mean, that is really awesome. Did anything in your style change? Anything in your release change? Or are you exactly where you were before?
At the very beginning, it was kind of crazy. Like my left arm, it would kind of finish like this.
And it would click.
And it would click a lot. Oh my God.
You would have to do this before you
I
started
thought I was
bowling.
dying. Literally, I would hold the ball and I would feel it building up with something. So I had to go like this to pop it, and then I would go.
It was part of his
All
pre-start.
right, why would you think you're dying though? That's just it's just a little joint thing.
That's why.
Actually, good point.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said we almost didn't make it through, because every little thing, he's like, I'm dying. And I'm like, I've been broken in bed for 3 years with my back, and you didn't give a shit. Now you get to a little bit an understanding of what it's like to,
Yeah. I mean, it just, I don't like when things.
Now Nate knows what it's like to have a child, because his arm had to click once. So we get it.
Totally out of left field. Bring that comment back up. I have to give a shout out to Amanda and Corey Moore, who I had the pleasure of meeting this week. 2 wonderful people, huge supporters of the show. And
yes, for sure.
Rob and Ocho, I feel like we had at least 10 seconds. Wonderful people right here, right there. So thank you guys very, very much for not being fans, but being real, genuine people, just like everybody on this show every single week. So thank you guys so much.
And thank you, Amanda. Appreciate it.
Nate and Elise, I have a question for both of you. What's your favorite bowling ball? I know I talked about this earlier. I know you're throwing the pink venom, but if you had a 1 bowling ball tournament, I ask every single legend that's on this show the exact same question.
Mm-hmm.
For your entire bowling careers, what's your go-to? Both of you.
God.
I already told you.
I think Jacobs is a
begins with a P.
Oh, stomach.
Yeah.
I do.
The hammer tough, right?
Oh man.
Very, very, very. That's
These would have to be the idol.
Yeah, like that. That's the first.
I didn't hear you.
These would have to be the idol.
Yeah, that's the first one that came to my mind, just because it's a benchmark piece. I matched up with it. Amazing. I won
We're
several.
talking about the original, like the violet one, right?
Yep, the pinkish looking one. That one has made me a lot of money. I love that
So,
one.
how do you feel about the Optimum idol?
Be honest. It's
You're
not,
allowed to be honest here.
not the same. It is earlier. It is smoother. Because of the AI technology. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that because of the AI outer core, it makes the ball pick up sooner and be slower response from the balls that I've seen with that type of outer core. That's what I've noticed. And I threw them right next to each other in our Optimal Idol video, which you guys should go check out on our YouTube channel.
Which, by the way, do we have a plug for that?
Yep. Well,
it's literally Nate and Elise. Like, it's...
yeah, Nate and Elise, and we're streaming right now on our YouTube. So
I'll just go,
right up there.
Elise, what about you?
Oh, I told you guys last time it was the emerald. I think I still have to stick with that. The IQ emerald.
I forgot last time.
No, it's okay. That was just
things have changed since then. There's been a lot of balls that came out since.
So do you still have some blank emeralds laying around, and do you have some
yes.
idols laying
We
around?
have like 15.
Very
of
smart.
each.
Very
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah. People have tried to ask us to like buy them for like large amounts of money, and we're like, it's not worth it because it's like, you can't replace the shape that we see in those balls that we like. So
Nope, I totally understand that. I have had, I personally, not my dad, I have a blank 4-ball case box of LT48s. 2 are block lettering without dad's name, and 2 are with dad's name.
That's awesome.
And I've been offered a good amount of money. That's not a huge amount of money, but a good amount of money for a bowling ball. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, no.
yeah. Well, and especially that, like sentimental, you can't replace that. So it's like no amount of money.
Dude, that's my mission. Like, that's my ball. That's my baby.
Yeah.
No thumb. Get on the gutter. Hook at 10 feet and stop. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I've enjoyed watching you guys live stream on your YouTube channel as well, watching the JMs tournaments. I mean, it's fun, especially getting to watch AJ. I mean, let's be honest. AJ's the real star of the show right now. But I did enjoy the bowl off that you had, Elise, with AJ.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you were intimidated from the get go.
Yeah, I was not at all.
He invents the word intimidated.
It's actually so funny because I got absolutely roasted by people being like, oh my God, the trash talk, blah, blah, blah. That was ruthless. And I'm like, that was actually light work for me. I mean, like that, I was keeping it light and everyone thought it was a lot. But, AJ, I obviously like, people probably think like it's scripted or like whatever, but like no, legit, like when we bowl those matches, like it's no joke, like we want to beat each other. Like AJ was he was a little sad, I'm not gonna lie. Like he was very quiet for the rest of the day because he was actually at our house. And I'm not gonna lie, I think that hurt him a little bit. So.
Yeah, it was motivated, and he threw the front 28 one squad, so that was fun.
And because I ended up bowling with them for like 3 squads of it that I wasn't supposed to, and I think I beat him like 4 out of the 6 games, and I kept posting it on my Instagram, and then he finally shot like 269. He's like, I beat her, and I was like, do you feel better now? And
right.
he's like, yes. So
if anybody saw Revenge of the Nerds when Ogre, man, I'm showing my age. I'm ageless and timeless though, by the way. But when Ogre beats the chick, but it takes him a long time, and he's struggling, and then he celebrates, and then he starts crying because he arm wrestled the chick and almost lost. And you guys should see it. It would be a wicked awesome. Rob, go pull it up on YouTube. Who are these guys? Who are these two? That popped up on my feed.
Who is that?
So it's actually funny that's Brittany and
I thought that was me for a minute.
Well, you're that hot, and she's got huge kids, so.
Brittany and Forrest Christer. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Before we get into that, one of our guests is about to leave, so he wants to say goodbye to all of us and our fans.
Hey, how's it going?
So,
hey, how's it going?
I'll see you at the stairs.
Let's talk. We'll get to Nate and Elise in a minute, but let's talk about how he went out of his way to spend an hour and a half with us tonight.
Thank you, Butters.
Mr. James Buttriff. And
always appreciate it.
What are you going to do the back half of the season, homie? Thank
you guys so much,
Thank
and
you so
it's
much.
a pleasure. And I'm glad to
Ooh,
get a
smell
chance.
good. It smells like my cologne.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah,
my
I
cologne?
did. Smells really good.
It smells like
Yeah.
Dolce & Gabbana the one right now.
Hey, Jacob, can you not take like 3 months to answer my text whenever I text you? I would appreciate that.
Don't text him back.
I'm not
Just
Johnny
don't worry about it.
There's the plug.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys for everything. Absolutely.
Appreciate it, brother.
We're down one legend. We still got 2 left.
Wait. Oh shit.
Not you assholes.
I wasn't in on the inside jokes that you guys have between AJ and yourselves. I at some point I didn't even know you guys were knew each other, a couple of months ago, and I'm commenting on your post like a fucking dumbass. Like, you don't know who AJ Rice is? It's fucking Mr. 900. And you're like, we know he's our.
Oh, you're talking
friend.
about me? Oh yeah, so that became a joke because I just love giving, like I said, AJ's just such a nice person, and I just love giving him shit because obviously I respect him, and I'm very lucky that when I do get to shoe up, he is normally on my side, which is why I came up with that challenge when I got that new ball. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take this pink ball and I'm gonna challenge him, and Dave was like, that's a good idea. So no, I just love giving AJ shit because it is remarkable, like what he does at tournaments that I've seen him do. Not only when I have gotten the chance to bowl with him, but then watching him with Nate, he's just such a cool dude that I know he takes it on the shoulder because he knows how good he is, and he just lets me pick at him. So, I always get picked on, so it's nice to have someone to pick on. So he's just one of those people that he knows he's good, so I can do it without him getting a little bit hurt, even though it does hurt him, but just a little bit. It gives him the motivation to bowl better.
Right. Well, see, that's all you need then. I mean, and look, I love the fact that you two are competitive and it's fun to watch. And I mean, he's riding a wave right now. Like, we know how good he's been for a while, but lately he's just on another
Riding a wave
level.
his whole life.
He's on a whole new level. Yeah.
I think I know he started going to therapy. He's in a whole new place with himself. And I think I know like the last time he calls us from time to time, just kind of like asking stuff. And the last time I talked to him, I said, like, dude, like, to be good at a sport, you have to be an individual, whether like even us, like being in a relationship is cool and having the support, but you still have to like take care of yourself. Like you said, make goals, whether it's health goals, like you have to do those things, even if you have the talent. And I just said, like, you have to take care of yourself first, your kid, the things that are closest to you need to come first and not worry about anything else. And I'm not saying that is what helped him, but I know it was a couple months ago when we finally just said, like, dude, if you want to be the best, like you already know you can, like just focus on yourself a little bit more than you have.
He didn't, at one point, not, and I'm not trying to put his personal business out there, and I don't think this relates to that, but there was a point in time where we sat down and he didn't think he was good. And this was less than a year ago. I'm like, bro, I used to go to tournaments and I saw you and I'm like, oh, like, it was like that. And I'm like, and I haven't seen that side of you in a while. And I've been your friend for like a couple of years now. So it was just one night that we just sat down and I'm like, dude, and that's where like we get like the he's him or whatever, is because he actually finally believes it, that he is that guy. He is him. And I'm like, bro, like that's all it took. It was just that shift because you bowling, but
we're on our own worst critic too. That's the other thing. So, but for him to say that, that's kind of like he's probably in a dark place. So the fact that you can lift him out a little bit, and then
here's somebody like Nate say he's walking into a bowling tournament like, oh fuck, AJ's here, so I'm going to finish second.
Third place now. Second,
in front of him,
if I was there,
guessing his own life. Talk about like, if you ever want to pump up somebody, just remind them like what you just said, Nate.
Yeah,
and we all go through it. We all deal with it to some extent. Everybody has their own demons, their own problems. And dude, if you're listening, man, remember that shit, dude. Obviously, you're remembering it now. Nate, you remember that every time you walk into a bowling alley, there's at least 20, 30 people behind you that want to throw it like you. Elise, every time you walk on the lane.
They just want to look like me. No, I get it. No, what?
I mean, who doesn't?
I kind of do look like you, actually.
But
we are jacked and juicy as
hell. At any level, at any point in anything you guys do, there's always somebody you're chasing, and always somebody you think is better than you, and that's what we fucking thrive and like drive for, right?
Yep.
Don't we all do it?
Yep, I was going through that point as well, and AJ and a couple of my friends. I'm like, dude, you're fucking Nate, bro. And I'm like, yeah, no, you're fucking Nate, bro. And I'm like, all right.
I think I said if I was reincarnated again, I would want to throw it like you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which a lot of people say the same thing to Elise too. Like, you're fucking Nate, bro. Like, I'm just.
Show the picture again.
So classless.
Just in case anybody didn't
So
see
classless.
what Nate's packing. There it is.
So classless. We don't do that. We don't do that here.
Everybody read the bottom
The
part.
nothing
It says nothing compares.
I didn't notice that the first time.
Now, if you have that etched in your Manscaped, then we're really impressed, and your Instagram is gonna like freaking quintuple within a day.
I love this show. I fucking love this show. I really do.
Oh, I like what Christian just said, where it's like you never know someone's silent struggles, positivity, and compliments. I truly believe in that. Like, I think that's what keeps people, especially like your closest friends, you know. I hate that people always have something nice to say when you're going through something, or like when someone passes away. I hate that it's like it takes to the point of breaking for people to realize it, and some people don't take the time to like check in with their friends. And, you know, especially with social media nowadays, like, you know, even though we're pretty real on Nate and Elise, like, you obviously don't get to see our day-to-day struggles, just like with me and my Facebook. Like, these people comment, it really doesn't hurt my feelings, because these aren't the people that are seeing what I'm truly going through every day to make it work. And so I feel like that's the best thing you can do, is always like, you know, you have to want other people to win for yourself to succeed.
Right.
And I think that's right. You know, like, I think, like, even with AJ, I'm sure some people will be like, why would you help AJ be a better bowler when he's going to come and beat your ass?
Fantastic.
Yes. But it's like,
it's just like wild to me, like, not to cut you off, but when I was at that tournament, at the Jams tournament, obviously I was leading singles, and my buddy had a chance to go around me, but he lost the look on the left lane. And I'm like, dude, like, mind you, we're like gonna make a huge check if we cash. I'm like, bro, you just got a ball change and you got to make this move. If you commit to it, it's gonna be there. And he goes pack the next three, and he takes over singles. And some idiot goes up to him, he's like, oh yeah, glad you're at the top, bro. And I'm just like in front of me, and I'm just like, so you really wanted me to lose that bad? Mind you, who the hell, like, who do you think helped him to get there? Like, why are you trying to rip me down in the process of like trying to help my teammate? Like, I just don't have time for people like that. But I'm always about helping, you know, my teammates or anybody that's struggling.
I almost think they don't know any better too. Like, there's something misfiring, that they truly don't know any better. They don't get it, and they don't even know the camaraderie that you guys share. You know, being in the same tournaments all the time. And
Coach, you are the most positive person I know.
How can you not be? Seriously.
There's enough hate in this world. Just fucking be nice. Just be nice.
And especially Elise, she gets it all the time on her socials. Like, it's,
nice.
But she makes fun of it. That's the best part. Like, she doesn't give a fuck. Like, and if you do, you don't want to show.
Eventually, just have to. There's no reason to fight it. There's no reason to argue about it. Just be fucking nice, dude. Like, how hard is that?
And that's the thing too. If I really like wanted to go on and get sympathy and get people to like actually maybe like lay off, not saying they would. If I honestly told people, not even with my health, like with my personal life, not Nate, but like I've endured a lot in the last 5 years. And if I honestly told, and like no one really knows, like my very closest friends, but if I went on and told people what I've actually went through to even like be bowling, to have started the YouTube channel, to even like get to where we are, like people would maybe understand. But it's like that's not going to make me stronger by getting sympathy.
Right.
And, you know, but it's like you just have to stay positive. And I try to always put myself in other people's shoes and realize that whatever I'm going through, someone's probably going through 10 times worse than I am. So like whatever I can do to try to make someone else's day, or, you know, make someone else smile, is truly like what I try to do, because it also helps me, you know, keep being positive every day.
And that's hard. That's hard to have an attitude like that, especially when you're in the public eye and you have to see this every day and you got to deal with this every day. Nate, we never asked you, how do you feel about the fucking idiots that post on her pages? I mean, what do you think about it all?
Hey man, just keep filling up the bank account. That's all I gotta say.
There you go.
Like it's comical that people would take the time out of their day to be a keyboard hero or try to just like rip somebody down just for like, you know, doing what they love to do. But it's just hilarious to me. The fact that she is so distracting that you have to go out of your way to leave a nasty comment is hysterical. But you're still clicking that button to view it, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
And you know what's funny too? Because someone asked me one time, they're like, what hurts your feelings the most? And I'm like, honestly, what hurts my feelings the most is that people can only look at sometimes what I look like, and they discredit the intelligence that I know I do have, especially in the bowling industry, because the things I do is I just want to promote bowling. Like, that's truly all I've ever done. And obviously with social media becoming a thing in the last couple of years, that was like what a lot of my sponsors would say is like, hey, you need to start posting on social media more, because I was not a person that wanted to be in the spotlight. I just wanted to bowl and help the sport.
Right.
And so that's the only thing that really bothers me is sometimes I feel like I get here's another dumb Instagram girl trying to think she knows what she's talking about with bowling. And it like those hurt me a little bit more because I have worked so many hours in the industry. I've worked for Kegel. I've worked for USBC. Like, I've been to college, I've been through it all, that it hurts when those irritate me the most, when I just get called a dumb girl that's trying to show off. Like,
and that's why we loved having you on last time. And Johnny even mentioned it.
Of ignorant people.
Yeah. I mean, Johnny mentioned it after you came on the first time. Like, that was a fucking fantastic show. Not he didn't have any preconceived notions about you at all, but it was like,
fuck no.
You were so articulate and so knowledgeable.
Anybody that gives that many shits,
right?
Look. Again, I'll say this a million times over. I'm single. All I want is a fucking brain. If you have a brain, everything else, it doesn't fucking matter, dude.
Right.
It's the sexiest thing in the world. Vince Neil, who is actually kind of a friend, not as good as Brett Michaels, but Vince Neil, who has made love to over 800 women in his life. The one thing he said to me was this: bodies go away, brains don't. If you have a fucking brain, it's the sexiest thing in the world. Period. End of story. And she's got one, and so does he. You got to wrap up the show because Butters is in my bathroom. And I'm not sure if he's stealing my cologne or just putting it on.
On the bonus episode of Straight Up 5, Johnny's going to be taking video from the hotel room and posting it on the Facebook page.
We
just to give it, just
to
give it,
I think he's using my ball
conditioner,
crop duster. What's it called? What's it called?
The ball can. I don't know. It's a crop buster.
Rob,
oh, you guys are great fucking shills
crop
for this
preserver.
stuff. Here you go.
Here it is.
The crop preserver.
That's
I think he said crab preserver. I was like, whoa.
The crab
I'm going to say goodbye first. I'm not leaving yet, but I do want to say once again to two of the greatest people that I've had the pleasure. Elise, we've only spoken on here twice, but Nate, I've known you for a very long time. I've respected you for a very long time, and I absolutely love you as a friend, and I would kill anybody that fuck with you, dude. Love you, man.
Brother. I appreciate you. Same for myself. I've looked up.
Make me one of those fucking signs, too.
I've looked up to you. I admire everything that you do, and for you to say all those amazing things about me, just I'm blown away. So
yeah, that he's going to commit crimes for you. That's good. That's smart. Do that on the show. I'm going to commit freaking murder for you. FYI, he's in Vegas until Tuesday, and then Saturday. Right, that's right.
Gotta go home to
he's coming back,
baby,
and he's coming back for Jen's birthday for next week.
Mrs. Ocho.
Well, I'm excited because I'm going to hopefully, if I'm still around, and like they say in the South, if the Lord willing the creek don't rise
and the heart attack don't hit.
Fucking douchebag. May 28th through June 3rd, the PWBA Classic Series comes to Smyrna Bowl in Smyrna, Tennessee, which is about 20 minutes from where I live. So looking forward to going there and hanging out with you guys.
You better make me a sign.
Okay, I will.
If you don't talk to me.
Just bring
I'm actually positive he will.
I won't speak to him if he doesn't come with the sign.
Just bring my sign. You guys put it up twice already. Just bring my sign.
Or a shirt. You can just make a shirt with my face on it.
Get a guy with two broken arms trying to reach into a bucket of chicken.
With a picture of Nate's longness.
Yeah.
I could get a bucket of the Popeye chicken and just
one more time
as the chicken. In the
That's a good idea.
You get the bucket of chicken, but you get poor Nate. He can't get the arms to his mouth because he's T-Rexing it because he got cast on. So, He's wasting away to nothing.
Oh, then
and that
it
too.
says hashtag long Nate underneath the bucket of chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I will do.
And then it says hashtag nothing compares.
Nate.
Yo.
Hey, whose mouth are we going to put on that, by the way?
Wow.
There is no mouth.
There should be. You got to make a sign. You got to make it real.
Welcome to Straight Up Five.
Wrap it up. I actually have
okay, well, you're the one that's fucking.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.
Hey,
Right,
give them their Twitter handle and don't do anything. You guys suck with plugs. You guys are awful. This is the
Go to
awful show.
Nate and Elise. It is the best bowling YouTube channel on the internet. I don't care what anyone says. There's no one
Good
more
view.
entertaining. There you go.
Yes.
Sorry, Elise. Keep going.
We also got our biggest sponsorship that we're working on a video right now, but we're really excited. So that was pretty cool.
That's going to come out very soon.
Is it about plaster of Paris and casting arms? Is that the sponsor? Because that would have been great. You could have done a good thing for Home Depot. Would have freaking monitored you guys big time.
This sponsor had 2 Super Bowl commercials during the Super Bowl, and they reached out to us. So.
Oh, Jesus reached out to you. That's
Hell
good.
yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
I hope we didn't overshadow you guys tonight with Matt McNeil being here and Jacob Buttriff, but
You guys cut Elise off 38 times. I had to be the savior. Nate would have, but he's new. I get it, and he's going to take over next time. He's the hero, not me.
Yeah, it's your guys' show, so I'm not going to say, can y'all shut the hell up? But
I've been trying to talk 8 times. She's like, well, because you have to. Well, what I happen to do is because with this is you got to have your.
It's okay.
We're going to make a shirt. Let Elise talk. Get to the art department.
No, it's fine. I talk enough. Nate's probably sick of hearing me.
No, we're good.
Well, it's not for you. It's for the fans. He is sick of it. Yeah, he's not going to buy any. It's fine.
He married you. I promise he wants to.
Yeah, same bank account. You're good.
No, I guarantee that's not why he married me. He doesn't want to hear me talk.
Whoa.
I do have one last
He wants to
question.
ride my coattails.
Now we have to go.
No, hold on.
Man.
No, ask the question.
That brings up way too many
Get out of here.
I have to ask the question, Johnny. I feel bad if I don't ask the question.
You can go check if
I
Jacob
just
is drinking
realized
your
he has a pig
perfume.
on his hat.
You can go check if Jacob is drinking your perfume. Go check it out.
And it also says,
All right, let him ask his question.
Nate, it's not if.
Ask the question. All right.
Stop cutting off Elise and ask your question.
Everybody wants to know: are the subjective camera angles in your videos on purpose?
Okay, to answer this question very simply, the first video that went super viral, I yelled at Nate because of the way he recorded it, and I was like, people aren't gonna, and we couldn't re-record it because it was.
How do I not know this?
What?
How do I not know this?
You clearly don't follow her Instagram.
No, so that's what's funny is I literally yelled at him and I couldn't record it because it wasn't a strike. It was I left the split twice the same way and I tried to pick it up and I was like, why did you record it like this? Because people are just gonna think I'm recording my
fuel to the
ass.
fire, basically.
And then but honestly, go look at any other girls the way they post. It's the same, you know what I mean? There's no other way. I could record from any angle and you're going to see.
I will tell you, there is way worse on the internet of girls bowling and the shots that they put up.
And I don't know if it's purpose.
They are in places that it shouldn't, and I don't know how Instagram.
I had that problem so many times. You have no idea, and that's not. I mean, only in bowling, but I do have that problem a lot.
It is a joke now, though, when we do record, Nate's like, let me get the money shot, and he'll joke.
I figured, yeah.
And, get up my butt. And, sometimes my friends now, they'll come and record me and literally just zoom in on my butt. Literally my butt.
Those don't get posted.
No, they do sometimes because my friends will post them. And I'm like, at this point, it's a joke because it honestly, again, I can't help, how I'm built. I can't help that. Right. But if I looked like Nate, if I was built like Nate, these comments wouldn't be happening. So it's you just kind of have to take it.
Well, now I know what to do on Instagram when I bowl because if I get my angles right, I'm telling you.
You know he's muted.
No, he knows.
Tony.
I mean, if we really want to get hashtag long Nate trending, just post the same camera angles when he's bowling. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, we'll do the PP cam. We call it the PP cam.
The long John cam.
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
How do you not trip over that thing then?
Mention that he's fucking tall and awesome. You're like,
yeah, but no, you just wonder why his footwork's off. He's tripping over that damn thing. That's the problem.
The show. Everybody is angry at me. They're angry at me right now.
I'm sorry, Johnny. I'm sorry.
Everybody's angry at you. Who's everybody is angry at you?
Butters,
Matt,
I'm not angry.
Angry at
Johnny. I'm not angry at you.
Didn't Matt McNeil go to dinner?
Yeah, I thought Matt went to dinner.
I'm not angry.
You been on so long, you already ate dinner and came back?
Wow, he must have.
Elise, are you angry at Johnny?
No.
Nate, are you angry at Johnny?
He has a pig hat.
No,
So how could I be?
Okay, well, there's a lot of people that aren't angry.
angry at me.
Johnny, you can go. We can still talk. I mean,
No, I'm leaving too. Fuck this. You guys are crazy. This is bullshit.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
Okay,
kidding.
Johnny, I love you, bro. Thank you so much. Thank you for letting me
Nate,
be on
Elise,
the show.
love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys so
Time
much.
from the private plane.
Yes.
One day, when you and Nate have one, I'm coming on it.
All right,
I'll bring Rob.
And
too.
he means that.
On that note, guys, again, thank you for
Nate,
showing
do me a
up
favor when we're done.
Thank you.
Hit me up.
Yeah, I will.
Get another question off camera.
Yeah.
Elise, hit me up while he's talking with JP. We got it. Don't worry about it.
Don't be dirty, Och. Show
I
me
was
the-
not at all.
One more time for the James Vanderpeaks before we go. Do it the right way.
Oopsie, I did it again. I gave you my guns.
Beautiful.
Next week, we got Steve Giles coming on the show, soon to be PBA Hall of Famer. So please tune into that. Nate and Elise, thank you very much for showing up.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for listening to this edition of Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. You can follow the show on Twitter at Straight Up 5 Pod. Follow Johnny Jr. at JPJR07. Follow Rad Rob at Rad Rob Gaming. And follow Dr. Ocho at the Dr. Ocho. Got a question for Johnny? Send your questions to straightup5podcast@gmail.com. We'll see you next time for another edition of Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. Right here on the Rad Rob Radio Network.
If you're a facilities manager at a university, you know students rely on the cafeteria for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the occasional late-night snack. So when a dishwasher breaks down and dirty plates pile up, the mess hall can turn messy in the blink of an eye. Enter Grainger. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast delivery, the product you need now is never far away. So you can turn that dishwasher back into a lean, clean washing machine. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.